and there's the green button in the air, and then we go through the arbitrary, and now we're live, which means now we're live. So, basically, hello, welcome back to Infinite Roleplay. This is going to be a playtest of the setting book that I'm working on, Saturday morning D&D. This is, the start of the alpha test. I just finished developing this thing, and we have a few fine gentlemen willing to come in here and put me through the meat grinder. So, going from my left to my right, feel free to introduce yourselves, your characters, and any online endeavors in which you're doing, starting with Josh.
You would start with me, wouldn't you?
Oh, most definitely.
Well, I'm Josh, as he said. I used to run the channel Smoking RP Gamer. Yes, I'm back. You can run in fear now. Tonight I will be playing Barlow, the expert halfling thief, who is as imperceptive as all hell, but he's an agile little son of a bitch, and he's hard to pin down.
And I'm probably going to get his name wrong because I already know. Suhaib?
Hey guys, I'm Suhaib, and I'm playing as a warrior whose archetype is massive weapons. I'm a dual wielder. Name of the guy is Ace Blademan, just to make it a bit more cartoonish. And well, I'll be dealing heavy damage to whoever comes in front of me.
And Jared.
Sure. So my name is Jared. Been an enthusiast of RPGs my whole life, but not for about the last 10 years or so. Love playtesting new game. Excited to be here. I'm gonna be playing Theodric Stavian, the wisest, most frail priest you've ever met. Yeah, hopefully I can manage to keep some people alive. But we're definitely going to see what we can do to test out the getting back in the fight mechanics. So hopefully I don't ruin things.
All right.
I'm sure you'll see that.
Yeah. This is, of course, this is an alpha test of the mechanics, not necessarily of the setting or quests being written yet. So it's going to be a little bit rough and ready. And we may skip over some things, for speed purposes and just for testing mechanics. But the first quest at the moment is the Frost Goblin King. Just give me a second to tab over. No, where is this thing? Did I close it? I am so ready. That is how professional I am. This is utterly great because it's utterly awesome.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Our heroes come from Fiston. Fiston is a small town in turmoil, but Fiston's townspeople are strong survivors and will not be driven out of their homes. Or if they are driven out of their homes, they eventually come back. Now in Fiston is under constant attack from orcs, goblins, mad mountain fawns, and the Snow Goblin King. Well, it's not really the Snow Goblin King's fault the town is so haggard, but kidnapping children does little to help. As a matter of fact, there are a dozen missing children right now. While they're not really missing, we know where they are, in the Snow Goblin King's court. Not a very good place for them to be. The first child disappeared 3 days ago, and we know that after 7, well, we just won't go into that. So we find our merry heroes on the journey to the Frost Goblin King's court to save Fiston's children, hopefully before 7 days' time passes. So our fine merry adventurers, Barlow, Ace Blademan, and Theodric Stavian, the three of you travel through the woods, southward, and then eastward, and then northward, and northward some more. In the break in the trees, you see before you a tall, tall hedge with a very ornate and very pretty wooden door standing right before you, obviously closed. What do you do?
An ornate door, you say?
Ah, yes, an ornate door. And by ornate, I mean extraordinarily pretty. The craftsmanship is amazing.
Barlow kind of looks at the others and kind of, props up one eyebrow.
No idea how they put that door in that hedge. What's it bolted to?
Oh,
Is there an actual reason for which we would venture through this door, or can we simply continue our journey around it?
well, the Snow Goblin King's lair is surrounded by an extraordinarily confusing and overly complicated hedge maze. This is something you know, and he does this so that anyone trying to save their poor little children will spend some time doing so. Hopefully enough time so that he can do what he does. We're not going to go into that. What, you muted?
Just go
Oh.
blasting through the doors and all the maze and stuff.
Well, Theodoric will approach the door, give it a quick look. Curious and a bit suspicious as to whether or not this door is safe for using. So I will inspect it.
Ah, it is a very ornate door. As I said, by ornate, I mean incredibly pretty. It has various carvings of stuff. I don't really know what stuff. It's just stuff. Triangles and swirls and what must be plants. The Goblin King is kind of an eccentric. As you approach the door, you're looking the door. You can hear it slowly creak, opening inward.
Okay. I will wait for it to continue opening.
Well, that's not ominous at all.
The door begins to open, and it sounds heavy, and it's moving heavy, and it's... And you see standing in the opening of the door a very old, upset-looking brownie. I hate opening this thing. Are you guys coming in or what? You can't keep us waiting forever, you know.
Is that an invitation?
Why, yes,
He
it
certainly
is.
didn't tell us to get the hell out, so we're assuming it's an invitation.
Fair enough. Take a few steps forward and approach the brownie.
He just steps out of your way,
Sure.
let you in. Come on, come on.
Yeah, Barlow will just walk right in and go right past the brownie.
Well, Ace Blademan also follows him, and let's move on with our adventure. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of goblins in there.
As Ace Blade Man walks by him and he sees the dual massive blades, his eyes just widen. Whoa! And then he goes behind the door and he starts pushing it, cringing and contorting his little brownie face as the door squeaks closed. All right. I've got a few things to tell you. Don't let him know I told you. Okay?
Fair enough.
We won't say anything, but it wouldn't be an adventure without some strange person telling us stuff we don't really need to know.
A man after my own heart. This is great. I like your style. So, and he looks you guys over. The Snow Goblin King. He's no ordinary goblin. He's not even much of a goblin. Well, let's face it, he's not really a goblin at all. But what he is the king of goblins. Snow goblins, at least. The Snow Goblin King gets lonely and happens to be really socially awkward. So he goes around making friends by actually making friends. Snow goblins, mostly. Made from small children. A bit of magic, a smidge of time, and they are his playful little friends and dear members of his family. Not his royal family, of course, but extended family. He casts his spells, sings his song, and in 7 days' time... we won't go into that. Anyway, I've told you a story, now go get those kids.
An amusing story it was.
Was there a point to the story?
Of course there was a point to the story. Apparently the Snow Goblin King is the king of the Snow Goblins. Didn't you hear him?
Well, yeah, but what the heck are we supposed to do with that? We're still gonna kill the guy.
The brownie starts rubbing it. Well, I don't know. Is it beginning to snow? He just starts looking up in the air, waiting for it to snow. I think I see a flake.
Barlow just kind of smiles and spins this really intricate, strange, golden, what looks like a handle between his fingers. Just starts skipping off down the path, and I mean literally skipping.
Theodoric will kind of bow his head at the brownie and say, "Thanks," and follow after the skipping gnome or halfling.
Skipping halfling. Well,
Yeah.
let's follow the skipping halfling. I
Never
hope you
thought
don't
I'd-
jump on the trap.
And as the happy halfling skips along and his friends happily follow, you hear it in the background. And then a snowball. What's Barlow's armor class?
His armor class is 16.
Oh yeah. So you hit a snowball. Boom. And then it into snow and starts falling away. And Barlow unfortunately takes 7 damage.
Okay, damn.
You chilled enough yet?
And then you hear off in the distance.
That's a serious snowball.
It's one serious snowball. Barlow turns around and kind of flicks the golden handle he's been holding, and there's a almost an electrical sound of gears whirling, and the end of it opens up, and an ornate handle wraps over his fingers, and a long, slender blade comes out as the thing turns into a rapier.
Who threw the snowball? I'm going to have to kill somebody now. I don't like that.
And again you start hearing.
I will attempt to identify where the sound is coming from. Or perhaps at least where the origin of the whistling is coming from. Or the origin of the snowball originally came from.
As you're looking, you can start seeing coming into view a small little goblin about Barlow's size coming into view. He give me a second. I'll actually screen share a picture of how he looks. I love Google, don't you? That's what you see coming into view. And he is indeed tossing a snowball up in the air and still whistling.
Okay, so could also see this, right? The goblin.
By this time, yes, Ace, he would be coming into Ace's view.
So as soon as Ace sees him, Ace just runs toward him for the kill.
And as Ace is running to him, he's just whistling. And then he grins. And Ace, what do you do?
So Ace releases one of his blades, the massive blade. It just falls forward, and as it falls forward, it grabs him and tries to like swing at him on his head.
Okay, go ahead, roll it.
Okay, so first it's gonna be. Oh damn! Guess what I rolled?
I don't know.
A 1.
Oh, that is beautiful. Okay. So we'll just say Ace. Ace runs at him, and he throws this snowball in time. And Ace dodges out of the way, but he loses one of his attacks doing so.
Ah. And well, the sword just kind of comes and does a bang, boom, and vibrates the whole body of Ace Blade Man.
Well, who was it that got hit by the snowball?
Barlow.
Are we kind of just out of initiative here? How is this functioning?
I'm not going to be too in depth with initiative, so you
Sure.
guys can all go, and then I'll take a go.
Okay. Well, I'll take a step up to Barlow and say, "How's your face, buddy?" And just set a hand on his where he was hit with the snowball and cast Cure Wounds on him.
You can both feel that part of his face is really cold.
Yeah, I'll. So what is that? 3 plus 4, so 7. 7 health.
Okay.
And it's like, go get him, Tiger.
Marlo just kind of looks at you. I'm rather cold, actually.
You want me to warm you up too, little guy?
No, I'm fine.
At that point, he flicks the handle again, and the rapier disappears. Everything, once again, the gears whirling, and everything's shrinking back into the handle. And he spins it around and taps it. From the other end opens up, and the gears once again whirl, and it extends into a long whip. I'm going to... How far is the goblin away from me?
Like 30 feet.
Okay, I'm going to move forward a little bit using the reach of the whip, and I'm going to attack, and I'm going to try to grab his hand that was formerly bouncing a snowball up and down.
No problem.
I should have been ready for this. There's the Oh, God.
So in one of those Saturday morning cartoon moments, because he wasn't ready, you'd see little Barlow running over with his transformed weapon, his whip, his arm raised, his entire body not moving, just speed lines moving past him.
And I rolled an 8, so...
Okay, yeah, so he misses gloriously. Maybe
So-
even takes a moment to pose for the camera.
Barley does. He actually misses, takes a moment to pose, and you kind of hear this...
I got it!
Oh God, when Barlow laughs, the little goblin starts hopping up and down, and he too himself. And then he has his open hands, and he blows in his open hands almost as if he's warming them. And you see clouds of smoke come up and puff. And then he starts tossing another snowball up and down in the air. And Ace Blade Man, stumbling before him, he looks at him and possibly misses. Yeah,
Ace
that's a
Blade
miss.
Man is still vibrating from the hit. Oh wait, what went there?
So he throws the snowball at Ace Blade Man, and the vibrations somehow help him to dodge out of the way, the shaking back and forth and to and fro. And again, the little blue goblin starts running away in the opposite direction. La 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 la
Okay.
la 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 la.
All right. I'll attempt to cast Hold Person on him.
Okay.
Let's see what we can do. 60 feet. I mean, perhaps that's close enough. So I'll say, you're not going anywhere, buddy. And I will cast Hold Person on him.
All right, and that's a roll on my point, right?
I believe so. So, sorry, I'm still foggy on rules. So my modifier is 4,
Yeah, no, I
and it's
didn't
a
pass anything.
second level spell.
No,
So
I know I didn't roll enough. Your spell saves are usually 8 plus your proficiency modifier plus your wisdom because you're a priest. Your proficiency modifier at 4 is like 2.
Okay.
At 6 should be either 2 or 3. 3?
It's
Yeah, so that's already 11, and I got a 8.
Okay.
So the little goblin runs away, and then mid-run, his foot up in the air just stops. La 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 la. and he tumbles, frozen in that running position.
and Ace Blade Man is after him with a grin on his face and and raising his massive blade up and trying to smash him once. Blah. Let's see what I roll. Well, that's a 17 and 7. What do I add to the initiative roll? Was that a
No,
proficiency
not
roll?
initiative. You're attacking.
Oh no, sorry, attack roll.
You would add your proficiency bonus plus your strength bonus.
Yeah, sure. So that's gonna be a 22.
Yes, that is definitely a hit.
Yeah, and then when he hit once, then he raises his massive blade again and hit him again. I'm gonna calculate after that.
Oh.
That's the next section.
Well, how much damage did you do with your first attack?
Yeah, I'm gonna calculate that. I missed the second one, so that's 17 damage with the first one.
Oh, golly. As Ace brings his massive weapons down to bear on this frozen frost goblin, this goblin that's frozen in place, fallen on the ground, the camera pans over to the brownie. The brownie's eyes widen largely, and he just puts his hands in front of the camera to block all vision of what's about to happen. And and then it pans back over to the held frost goblin, all beat up and drool coming from his lip, and his eyes shooting back and forth. What are you guys up to now? He's frozen. He's held, so he's held there for a while.
Yeah. So I'll slowly start approaching him, just walking over, but I'm not taking lead on what his fate is.
What race is the priest?
I'm a human.
I'm going to essentially, I'm basically going to do my hide action, but in doing this, I'm going to jump onto the priest's back, hold onto his tunic, and kind of hide.
Let's see. Do I need to make a strength check here? No, I'm all right. I'm all right. So I'll kind of look up.
That's that would be stealth, which is 20. 10 plus 10.
So did you say on my shoulders?
Oh, I'm essentially I'm essentially behind you, with my eyes peeking over your shoulder on your back.
Oh, okay. Holding on to my shoulders.
Yeah, you've got a living backpack.
Okay. I'll say you're heavier than last I remember. Time to lay off the ale, but no matter. I'll just continue walking and approach it. And let's see here. So, what should we do with this thing?
Smash.
You hear it struggling to say stuff in its frozen position.
Well, I'll draw my my club.
You still hear the frost goblin trying to get words out. And what are you gentlemen doing now?
I'm now. I'm not just kind of holding on to his back, not paying attention and reading a book, which I actually pulled out of his satchel. It's his book.
I'll say, okay. So what? I really don't care what we do with this thing, but I don't want it throwing more snowballs at us. So, two options. We tie it up, or we club it over the head. You decide.
Well, this is what I do, and Ace Man attacks with the massive blade again.
Oh.
Oh man. I missed the first one because I rolled a 2, and the second one because I rolled a 4.
Yeah, when he's I believe being held makes him incapacitated more or less. You basically attack with advantage, so you roll 2 dice and take the highest per attack.
Yeah, 2 and 4 for the first attack, then 4 the first one missed. It kind of like hits a bit to the side of him, like BOOM! Let's see.
And you just hear him still trying to get words out.
And the second one is a 21.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Ooh. And that's 17 damage.
You hit him, crack. Oh! And then he stops squirming and stuff, and the shaking eyes just close, but the rest of his body just stays frozen there in that half-running position.
Ace Blade Man kind of like touches him with the feet. Tuk, hey, still alive?
Yeah, for behind them, they just suddenly hear.
What does humor have to do with human health, and why are there 4 of them?
And then Jared dropped off. Gonna wait for him. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, sorry about that. My internet went out for some reason, so just waiting for that. Meanwhile, I'll be on my phone, so don't mind me.
And then Ace Blade Man puts his blade on his back again and tightens up the belt so the blade holds on. And then marches on. Let's move, guys.
Fair enough. I will join the party. Join Ace Blade Man and continue on.
So again, you start walking further and further, turning left and right and right and left and left and right and right and left and left and right and right and right and right and left through the maze, the labyrinth of hedges of the Frost Goblin King's hedge maze. And as you go deeper and deeper into the maze, you see the snow beginning to fall, and it's getting colder and colder. The snow is falling slightly heavier and heavier. And you can hear in the distance a lot of laughing. And, no, you play too rough!
Can we see something?
Moving closer and closer, you can hear it. but it sounds like it's coming from around the corner. You can see it if you turn around the corner.
Ace Blade Man is gonna kind of peek through the corner to see if there is something there.
And Ace peeks around the corner, and you see, I don't have a picture of that one, but you see a larger goblin, a blue goblin, much the size of yourself and your priest, and he actually has another goblin, a really rough-looking goblin, and he's tossing him up as the smaller goblin was tossing the snowball, and you just see him grinning, and the goblin in which he's tossing is grinning as well. And there's other goblins around. They're fighting each other. They're putting each other in wrestling grabs and doing wrestling moves. Some are climbing up the hedge and jumping off and doing elbow drops on the others, laughing and screaming and laughing and screaming some more. And others, the smallest of them, are throwing snowballs at them, yelling about, "You play too rough!" You finally see the largest of the goblins throw another goblin at another goblin. And they just all disappear in a puff of white snow. Well, the goblins that were hit disappear in a puff of white snow. There are still a bunch of goblins you see wrestling and fighting and elbow dropping all over the place.
Guys, I don't know how can I explain this, but they are just throwing and throwing and grabbing and throwing.
As I kind of drop off the priest's back and sneak up and peer around the corner, do any of these goblins that are climbing the hedge seem to be hurt?
Yeah.
Hurt when they're climbing it?
While they're climbing the hedge?
Yeah.
They don't look like they're getting hurt while they're climbing the hedge.
They're not showing any signs of pain?
No, they're grinning and laughing. And you might catch, "I'm gonna get you! Here I come!" And
At that point, Barlow kind of smiles.
I've been waiting to see if I could do that.
At that point, he's going to start climbing up the hedge.
Yep. The ones you see climbing the hedges and fighting and doing wrestling moves look like the one on screen.
Okay. I'm going to start scurrying up the hedge.
Sure, no problem. It's like a 4-story hedge.
Oh,
And I'm climbing to the top.
I'll say, go ahead, little man. Just let us know what you see. I'll be rooting for you. And I'll try to even give him a little boost as he's working his way up.
So Barlow is going to try to climb to the top of the hedge?
Yeah, I climb at my full speed, too, so 25 feet around.
Oh, wonderful. After you get about 12 feet up, 10 to 12 feet up, the rest of you can easily notice Barlow is going from climbing upwards to climbing horizontally. And Barlow, you feel like you're climbing up, but they are no longer beneath you, they are to the left of you, as is the ground.
I'll say, you're going the wrong way, Barlow. That way.
How could that remotely happen? I just kind of look at them.
How the fuck did you guys get here? I was going straight up. Fuck magic.
Once again, it's time to lay off the L. You should, keep working your way up.
Kind of look at him.
Guys, I don't think I can climb the hedge. There seems to be some reason I can't.
Turn that way.
You think I don't know up from down, you jackass?
It still
clearly
feels
not. Clearly not.
I still...
I still feel like I'm going up.
Yeah. Even though you're going horizontally, you feel like you're going up. Everything spatially feels like you're going up. You can feel gravity pulling you down, but it's not pulling you towards the floor, which is apparently to your left.
I'll say, Barlow, trust me. If
I'm
you
going
were to
to-
let go, you would fall down straight to the floor, not the other direction. The world has not flipped. You're doing fine. Just keep going.
I think I want to start trying to climb down.
What feels like down or what looks like down?
What feels like down.
Okay, so he starts climbing backwards in the horizontal fashion until he gets about 12 feet, and then his body starts righting itself, and you see him start climbing down vertically until he gets to the floor.
Okay, I'm going to climb up again, just until I see I'm near them again.
Yeah, that happens around the 10 to 12 feet mark. You start to you it feels like the world is turning. To everyone else, it just looks like Barlow is turning.
Now I'm going to start climbing. I'm going to try climbing down, but not what feels like down, actually down.
What looks like down?
Yeah, what looks like down.
You guys see Barlow climbing, actually making motions to the left. Barlow, as you're doing this, down, what looks like down is getting further and further away from you. But to the rest of you, you just see him like climbing. He's making the motions of climbing to his left towards the floor. He's just not moving. You can see the hedge actually rotating while he's climbing.
Okay, so I actually noticed something funky going on.
Yeah, the hedge is actually moving.
At this point, I'm pretty much giving up on this. I'm going to ask them, how high up am I?
I'll see how high up is the top of the hedge.
It's about 30 feet above Barlow, and Barlow's about 10 feet off the
So
ground,
it's like 45 feet high.
roughly.
Okay. I'll ask either of them. Well, are either of you strong enough to throw a grappling hook to the top of this thing?
Well, if you're asking of strong, I think I am.
Actually, because of the feat you took, Ace,
Yeah,
Ace
yeah.
would probably feel compelled to pose and flex.
Oh. By the way, okay, I'll just open that up again.
I'll say, okay, you take this, throw it over the top of the hedge, and let's give the little man the rope and see if that helps.
Well, while
Yeah,
they're doing
sure.
this, Barlow is going to kind of. He's basically going to fill where he is instead of actually trusting his eyes. Push off from the hedge wall, flip into a leap, and try to land on Ace's shoulder.
All right.
Ace taking the grappling hook, he kind of, as soon as he jumps, he's trying to take the grappling hook from the priest. He kind of steps here, and I'm assuming he's gonna drop to the floor.
But Barlow, when Barlow tries to push off, you manage to get off a little bit, and you see a few dozen green hands come out of the hedge and to grab you and pull you back on.
Really?
Yeah.
I think we got to
One
hurry.
of them makes the little talky face with its fingers, and it starts moving, and you just hear, "You ain't going nowhere."
Just kind of yell, just kind of look wherever I see them.
Guys, we got trouble.
Trouble? What kind of trouble?
Tiny green hands that are telling me I'm not going anywhere.
Hey, we ain't trouble. We're just giving you a hand.
I'll say let's stick with the plan. See what we can do with the grappling hook and go from there.
Yeah, I grab the grappling hook and try to throw it to the top of the hedge.
Yeah, for you that'd be easy peasy.
Okay. So I'll take the bottom of the rope and try and guide it, walk in such a fashion that it makes it to the halfling and see if I can have him grab onto it. I'll say, "Here, grab onto this."
We'll try to grab onto the rope if the green hands will let me go.
You could move about what feels like it's free. It feels like you're freely moving about.
Go ahead and grab onto the rope.
See if this helps you climb to the top.
Then I will try climbing up again. Rope only has 2 directions.
And I'll kind of anchor it down at the bottom so it keeps some tension on it in a straight fashion.
Cool. So you start climbing up the rope, and it feels like you're getting to the top of the rope really fast, but you only manage to get like 20 feet up higher, as the anchor seems to be buried halfway in the hedge wall.
Oh.
Okay. Climb up to the anchor.
Okay.
I'm going to pull it from the hedge wall. Give it a little slack.
It's not letting go.
The hedge wall's not letting go.
No, the hedge wall's not letting go of the anchor.
Just trying to look at the hedge wall.
You little fuckers are annoying. Look back down, yell down. This isn't gonna work.
At which point I'm going to slide down the rope.
We're only trying to give you a hand.
Once I'm on the ground,
Excuse me, green hands. And by give you a hand, are you making a sad attempt at being witty, or are you actually trying to help the little guy?
And another pair of hands comes down lower where you can actually see them. The index and the thumbs of the hand, meet, and they start moving upwards and downwards, and you can hear the voice coming out. Well, when we said we were giving a hand, we were, giving a hand.
I'll say, so what's the deal? Are you going to let us cross this stupid hedge or not?
The corner's right there.
The corner?
Yeah, the corner of the hedge. You can just turn it to get to the other side. I mean, it's much easier than trying to climb the wall.
I'll walk up to where it's indicating and see if I can kind of push it and see if it starts turning.
With the corner is where Ace was peeking around from.
Oh, okay.
And then Barlow was peeking around from.
Mm-hmm.
And when you get to the corner, you can see a group of... it doesn't seem like a large group. Not nearly as large as Ace and Barlow saw. There seems to only be a small handful of the small blue goblins left. 2 or 3 of the goblins that you can see on screen, and then the one big one sort of chasing around as the others are trying to run away from him.
So if I were to attempt to actually rotate this hedge, would I have to pass within the line of sight of these goblins?
Well, it's just a corner. It's a hedge maze. Like, the hedge itself doesn't rotate. But if you wanted to turn the corner, they're in the line of sight. It leads to where they are.
I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe let's just try removing these goblins out of the way and just continue down this path. I'm not sure we're gonna make it to the other side of this stupid wall.
Well, I guess I can consider... You can go, Josh.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, when when you say stupid wall, the hand that has the index fingers touching and the thumbs touching begins to flex and move. Hey, we have feelings, you know.
Ah, yes. My apologies. I'm I'm frustrated with the situation, not with you. And I just kind of shake my head and say, "You guys ready to go?"
Well, I am, and Ace Blade Man draws both his massive blades out, ready for battle.
No time like
Golly.
the present.
At which point Barlow will jump onto the back of Ace Blade Man.
And as soon as he reaches my shoulder, like sits on my shoulder or grab onto my shoulder, I'm gonna run towards the goblin around the corner.
All right, now Ace Blade Man, your current encumbrance. What would your current encumbrance be?
It's 6 with the massive blades, as and I'm wearing a leather armor, which is 0 actually. So 6.
Ooh,
I have 2 more. Max is 8.
nice. So yeah, you he jumps on your back and it doesn't even it barely feels like he's even there. And you're charging out.
Yeah, yeah. Ace Blade Man charged out, screaming, "Ah!" with 2 massive swords drawn out.
All right, so you can uh, charge full blast, full bore, running, screaming, yelling, and you do so, and halfway towards the big guy, all of the goblins look at you, each and every snow goblin, the small ones that were running away, the slightly larger ones that were running away, and this one massive one who is massive for a goblin. He's about your size. They all turn to look at you. They all grow silent, and you are the only voice screaming. And then the big guy, and after the big guy, all the rest of them simply grin from ear to ear.
How far is the biggest guy there? And how
Uh,
many goblins in between me and him?
well, they were all running away from him, so you have a path where you might intersect like one or maybe two, and he's about 40 feet away.
Hmm. So, well, I'll attack the first goblin that comes in front of me, and I'm gonna make my way towards the big guy. But
Don't worry
first, the
about
first goblin.
the first one. As he's charging forward, I'm going to peek out from around his shoulder, spinning that golden handle in my hand. As anyone who's perceptive enough hears the whirling gears, the end opens up and a tiny little dart head pops out. And I'm going to peer over his shoulder, find the nearest one, and push the button. And essentially, I'm firing a hand crossbow at him.
But I guess I'll be moving toward the big guy then.
And that would be 11, 18 to hit.
That definitely hits.
Okay. And this is with my sneak attack, correct?
Sure.
Well, I'm hidden behind him. That will be 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22 points of damage.
Wow, dude. That's amazing. You're both just and the goblin's just like, "Ow!"
And that is with my cunning action, I'm essentially going to duck back behind him, trying to make sure I stay hidden. Holy shit, that is 26 on stealth.
Wow.
And Ace Blade Man is screaming towards the big goblin.
All right, so Ace, You can take your double move and definitely get to the. Oh no! Wait a minute. Massive blades have reach, which means you have a 10-foot
Yeah.
reach. So
Yep, I
you
have
can
it.
actually attack him with a 30-foot move.
Yes, so as soon as I reach that reach, he brings down his first massive blade, which is a 13, and that's gonna be a 17
That hits.
to hit. That hits. Well, big guy. That's a 7 plus 5, 13, and 6, 19, 19, and 4, 23 damage.
Damn, you guys do a lot of damage. Okay.
And then the extra attack, if he's not dead yet.
No, he's not dead yet.
That would be 14 to hit.
Yep.
That hits too. $17 damage.
Okay. So you smack
And then
him up. Yeah, go
the
ahead.
bonus action when the offhand attack.
Oh golly. Okay, go for it.
And
Ace
that's
Blade Man, the killeriest killer.
that's a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits, dude.
That's 8, 11, 14. That's a 17.
17 more damage?
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's like Ace Blademan first brings down his right massive blade, blong, and then picks it up again, and then the left one, picks it up again, and the right one.
So for Barlow, he's pretty much like riding the back of a rodeo bull.
You want an acrobatics check?
No, it's fine. He just looks like a small little rodeo clown riding the back of a rodeo bull.
Yeah, how does it look to a priest from far away?
No, that's how it looks to him. Barlow's legs are like flying off, and he's like holding on for dear life. But with that said, what does our fine young priest Theodric Stavian do?
I just observe. I take a few steps forward and say, folks, let's not get carried away. If for whatever reason we find ourselves in actual trouble, I'll do what I can to help. But I'm still trying to find the Goblin King, and I'll take some steps forward towards the two of them, but clearly don't seem to be concerned at all with combat, as my compatriots seem to be completely capable of handling themselves.
All right, and and with that, this large beat up goblin who is just about the size, a similar build, he looks the same structure. He looks like a blue big-eared version of Ace. Raises up his hands and screams into the air, "Fight!" And as he does that, the half dozen larger goblins and the small handful of tiny little goblins all scream in response, "Fight!" And with that, at Ace, let's see how this works out. So that's a miss.
Yep.
That is probably going to be a
A
miss.
12 is a hit if it's a 12.
Okay, that's a hit, so that's one hit. All right, 2 hits. So he gets hit twice, taking a total of 14 damage. That does both bludgeoning and and cold damage. So it hits you hard. You get hit, boom, boom, and then as they begin to fall, they just poof, and snowflakes rain down from where you were hit. What happened there? Oh, okay. So you take
a bit dramatic. Yeah, 14 damage totally.
You took 14 damage in total.
Yeah, a bit dramatically, he sits down like, "Oh, is that all you got?" And stands
No,
up.
because there's some more coming at you.
Oh,
Those were
seriously? Oh yeah.
just the walls. The other ones, the short but stockier ones, start to run at you, screaming, "Fight!" Let's see. I think 2 will come at you. 2 will come at the little rodeo clown behind you, and the final 2 would run towards the priest trying to stay out of combat, but
Unsuspecting. Okay.
the 2 on you. Wait, hold on. How many attacks do they get? They get a single attack, so that's 1 hit. And that's 2 hits. So you get hit, and they're pummeling you with their slightly oversized fists, and you take a total of 20 bludgeoning damage.
Woo. Ace takes that?
Ace takes the 20.
Ow.
So they're just beating on you like little short gorillas. Fight! Fight! And then the 2 on our little rodeo clown. What's our rodeo clown's AC?
16.
16? So the first one misses. Golly, and the rodeo clown, the bouncing and the wiggling and the tossing and the moving of his legs in midair, they seem to all just miss him as they're grabbing at nothing, screaming out, "Fight! Fight! 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 Fight!" And finally, the last 2 running at our poor little priest. Did he move up any? Move back? Move left? Move right? Where is the priest currently?
So he's probably behind everyone because after healing initially, after they charged into combat, he took a few steps forward, but had pretty much stayed behind everyone, just kind of waiting for things to settle down. So that's about maybe 10, 15 feet behind the other guys.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you're well within range. So they start running at you. Fine. As they're running, they seem to drop down onto 4s and run like tiny little silverback gorillas. Their long tassels on their hat flying behind them. Fight! 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 And they jump up towards Theodric. The first one.
17.
First one hits.
Okay.
And so does the second one. So Theodric gets pummeled for a total of 20 bludgeoning damage.
Ouch.
Yeah. They literally just pummeled you. But now it's our fine, upstanding young heroes go.
Yeah, and Ace Blade Man is gonna start playing whack-a-mole and attack the little goblins.
The little goblins with the snowball, they're at range from you.
Oh yeah,
They're about 30 feet away from you. But you're currently engaged with a total of 5 actually.
Yeah, the ones that are actually punching me on my guts.
Okay, yeah.
So here's to the first goblin. That's an 18, so a 22 to hit.
That's definitely a hit.
$14 damage.
All right. He just
A 12 to hit.
That's a miss.
And the same goblin that I hit first, it's a 23 to hit.
That's definitely a hit.
From the bonus. So that's gonna be 23 damage.
With the second hit,
Yep.
so that's a total of 37. Wow, you hit hard. So the first one, he was like, ah, fine, oh! He's still up, however.
They are really persistent, aren't they?
So unless you well, actually use your bonus action, the whole 9. Unless you're trying to move away from being surrounded. You're finished, correct?
Yeah, I'm finished.
All right. And that leaves our priest and our thief.
Go ahead.
Sorry, I was looking at something. I was trying to figure out when I get an extra attack. I don't seem to.
No.
Anyway.
But you get attack. Oh,
You
no,
just
you
get
don't.
the massive sneak attacks.
I'm going, as 2 of them have spotted me, I'm going to plant my feet into Ace's back and jump off into this spinning backflip. As my arm comes out and another dart loads into the handle, I'm going to fire at one of the ones who hasn't seen me, that's still in front of Ace, with the crossbow.
I'm guessing that's a 20 that you're trying to show?
Yeah, it is.
Pretty.
No, the question is, the ones that Ace were attacking attacked Ace because they didn't notice you. So there's the one he just beat up. There's one of them he didn't beat up, and then there's the large one that was the first one to scream fight.
That took all 3 hits.
I will attack the big one.
The big one?
Yeah.
No problem.
So that's a 20. Oh shit, it's a lot of dice. How are you doing criticals?
Yeah. Oh. No, that's the wrong one. Let's see. This is the root. How many dice is that in total?
3 for 1 for the hand crossbow, 3 for sneak attacks. That would be a total of 8.
So a total of 8 dice. He might make it through. I mean, he might make it through.
I don't think he made it through. 6, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Why did I not know that off the top of my head? 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
All right, so as you fire that little bow, it flies through the air. It seems to dodge and bob and weave through the other goblins, right past Ace, nearly nicking him in the air, in the ear. It flies through the air. You see the one little spark of light. You hear, "Wing," before it buries itself in this larger goblin with his hands raised high up in the air as he's screaming, "Fight!" It hits him, "Fight!" And he looks like he's about to go down. And as he looks like he was about to fall, he grabs his chest and he tears the bolt, the tiny little bolt, out. And he seems to be reinvigorated. He's like, "Roar!" And mechanically, each and every one of you would get 3 experience for the move he's doing. It's called You Done Did It. And I'm afraid, Barlow, you done did it.
You done did it.
Unfortunately, I'm not done.
Okay.
As he lands from this rather acrobatic flip, he rolls backwards into a roll. His legs, because I can move through the space of something larger than me.
Why, yes. Yes, you can.
And I'm jumping onto the priest's back and hiding. And that is shit. It's 17
Oh, okay, okay.
on stealth.
And now that he just jumped on your back, as a matter of fact, what is the priest's current encumbrance?
You need to help me. I haven't calculated that, so just give me an idea of what I need
Okay.
to calculate that.
Encumbrance threshold is your awesome power multiplied by your strength modifier. Minimum is 1. So what's your guy's strength?
So it's 1. It's 12.
Okay, so your total encumbrance threshold is 1. Your weapon and armor AP requirements are also the encumbrance of those items. That's what you add to your threshold. So what is the priest carrying as far as armor?
So he's got medium armor and a shield on, as well as just a simple weapon, a club.
Okay, the club I think is an AP 0, right?
Club is AP 0.
So that doesn't count against any encumbrance.
Let me look at the shield if I can find it.
The small shield is an AP 0, but the
Medium.
large shield is an AP 1.
Okay, so I've got the large shield, the one that gives me +2, so probably a large shield.
That's a
Okay.
tower shield, and AP requirement is 2 for that.
And
No, actually,
what
AC
type of armor do you have?
+2.
And then the armor I'm wearing is the half plate.
The half plate.
That's
So-
AP 1.
So you're slightly over encumbered, which basically means you have a level of exhaustion.
Okay, well I'll just basically attempt to move out of the way so he doesn't actually grab onto me. So I won't let him do it willingly. I'll just kind of like do one of these, like swat him out of the air as he attempts to climb onto me.
All right, but with or without him on you,
Yeah.
you're actually over encumbered. You're 1 point over encumbered. What that
Oh,
means
okay.
what that means is that you have 1 temporary level of exhaustion.
So then
You'll,
I'll wear the small shield. Sorry, I guess I'm not familiar with the rules, so I'll wear a
That's cool.
small shield. So that's a level 1, right? So then I'm good.
The small shield is a 0 AP,
Okay.
so it's effectively a buckler.
Okay. Then
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll just use that so that I don't have a penalty.
All right.
So I guess my AC is 16 instead of 17. So anyway, yeah. So yeah, if that's going to add to my encumbrance and push me over, and that's going to mess with my spell casting, then I'm just going to be like, nah.
Well, it's
Trying
not
to
going to
swat
mess with your spell casting. It just messes with ability checks. It gives you the first
Yeah.
level of exhaustion is disadvantage on ability checks.
Anyway, so yeah, I try to get out of the way and push him to the side as he tries to climb onto me. Since I'm in the middle of melee combat. Yeah, this is not an ideal scenario.
So he ducks and bobs and weaves out of your way, Barlow.
So if it means enough to you, then you can skill it. But if not, then I'm just gonna try and get it out of the way. And so with that, I will take my turn. So I'm just gonna basically try to take a simple 5-foot step back out of the way of these two guys that are right in front of me, exposing the halfling if possible, on purposely, and cast a mass healing word spell. So let me pull out my this dice roller here, and roll me one of these. Okay, so that's a natural 3, so that's 3 plus 4 healing for our team, plus an additional 3 for 5. So that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 healing for everyone. because I am a. Oh, and then I have Heal Monkey. Does that give me more healing?
Yeah, there are a few things that Heal Monkey gives you.
Let me see here. So 12 plus. Let me see if Heal Monkey gives me anything. 12. Here we go. Oh no, that's just the domain, so it doesn't actually. Okay, so yeah, 12 healing for everybody.
You get 2 plus the spell's level.
Yeah, so it's a third level spell, so that's 5. And then
Okay.
I also have an ability. Uh, well, the spell itself does 1d4 plus the spell plus my ability score, so that's a
Mhm.
4. That's okay. 3 plus 4 plus blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I think I added it up. It's 12. And then I
That's
get
okay.
an additional I think 5 back because I have self-healing
Blessed healer.
blessed healer as well. So
Mhm.
so that's an additional 5 back to me. So 17 for me and 12 for everyone else. And then I am done. I'll say, how about them to the little halfling to my side.
All right. So
Let this inspire you. Let me inspire you.
so with the halfling taking your place, apparently, and you running away from him, exposing him, saying, "Let this inspire you." I guess with your back towards him as you're moving away. The two that were fighting, I'm gonna roll a d4 real quick for the two of them. On a 1 or 2, they attack you. On a 3 or 4, they go after Barlow. Barlow, you sorry little halfling. They like to pick on people their own size, apparently.
That's fine.
Um. Oh, this is no good. I could be really mean. Let's not be so mean. So they continue to just yell out, "Fight! Fight! 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 Fight!" And they're both swinging at Barlow. The first one, that's a 19 on the die. That'll hit. The second one, I don't believe hits with a 9. So, Barlow being so nimble, dodges out of the way, flips, twirls, he's hiding, and then when he turns to look to see if everything is clear, he is met by an oversized fist, maybe knocking loose a tooth or two. He takes 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Ow.
And moving over to where Barlow was, that has 4 of those short stacks and one large pissed off goblin. The pissed off goblin starts into Ace, and
Thanks for leaving me alone, buddy.
yeah, I know. Is Ace at his beat up yet or no?
What?
His beat up level.
Yeah, what is that? I don't think I know about
Oh
the beat
no,
up
he
level.
can't be because I just healed him for 12 hit
Oh, okay.
points.
So not a
So
problem. Well, where's my thing? All right. So the big guy starts trying to wail on Ace. That's a total of 15.
Yeah, it hits.
Okay, Ace is a 12. He hits you with one large sock to the gut for 12 points of damage. And then unfortunately the other 4 all around Ace. Just the large one is like, but all the others like, fight, 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 fight! And one of them hits you. And the other one crits you. Okay, let's handle it this way. The first one that hits you for 10 bludgeoning damage. The second one that hits you for, well, after getting hit by 10, what is your level at? Are you beat up yet?
I'm 14 HP away from down.
So is that your beat up?
Are you talking about the beat up threshold?
Yes.
It's 29, so yeah.
Okay, so the second one actually hits you for 40.
Seriously?
Yes. Seriously.
Okay.
So he's just like wailing on you. Like you're going down, getting knocked out, and he's still screaming, fight!
Did you remember to remove multi-attack from the group?
Yes.
Okay.
I took multi-attack away from him.
Multi-attack.
Yeah, no. So the other two that were going to beat you up, after you fall, they started like jumping in like a maddened haze, just yelling out, wrestling around with each other, slapping each other about, and then they turn and look at the priest.
Question?
Yeah.
Just a question. There's the second wind for the warrior. Do I use that on my turn?
The actual second wind, I believe you use it on your turn.
No, I mean the one that is in the supplement, yeah. Because it will let me come back to my threshold HP without any penalties.
Yeah.
So is that on my turn or whenever I fall?
Did you change it? Did you change the action type from the
Yeah, it's when you are reduced to 0, but not downed outright. He's just been reduced to 0. So he can choose to do it on his turn because it might be more beneficial for him.
Yeah, I'll do it on my turn. I'm pretty sure that's more beneficial. There's no doubt about that.
You know, so he gets rocked, you know, and you can roleplay how he goes down, but he doesn't necessarily get down and out. But the other two that was celebrating turn and look at the priest, and they start charging at the priest. They're pushing, you know, one's pushing his way through the other, and then the other pushes him off the side. They're almost fighting each other as much as they want to fight you right now. And then the first one that actually makes it towards our brave and wondrous priest of magnificent healing, Theodric, swings at him, and he just brings his fist, swinging away at nothing but air, as he gets only a 15. And then the second one, who apparently was pushed a little bit too far away from you when they were fighting each other to get to you, misses, completely beating up the floor, leaving fist prints in the snow beside you. And then after that, the three little goblins with the snowballs, tossing them up and down, are just pointing and laughing at this battle that is going on. And as they're pointing and laughing at this battle, you know, our fine heroes, what it is that you do?
So Ace Blade Man took punches to the gut and kind of goes down, but he's not really down yet. And he kind of like screams out using the second wind and stands back up and is pretty angry at the moment, aiming for the big guy with his first massive blade swing. So a 15?
Yeah, 15 hits him.
Oh, that's 19 damage.
Alright, so you just did 19 damage to him?
Yeah, and then again hit him with the extra attack. That would be 21.
All right.
That definitely hits.
All the Chinese. More.
That's 20 damage.
20. All right, you're beating on him and you're rocking him back and forth, and he's just like.
And then with the bonus action, another attack comes down on him, which is a 12 versus.
Oh no, a 12 doesn't hit.
Yeah, and
That
using
one,
the action.
that when he deflects away, he's like, boom,
And as that one deflects away, another massive sword comes over him using the action surge.
oh,
Oh, that's a 3.
he deflects that one away too, and you can hear above all the screaming, all the yelling of fight, 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 all the growling and snarling of the biggest of these goblins. In the distance, these 3 small little goblins laughing and pointing and taunting. And you have one last attack that you can do.
One last, I'm pretty sure I did 4. So using the action surge with the attack when I
Action
use the
surge lets you deal another action. The
Yeah,
attack
so-
action grants you 2 attacks.
Mm.
When you attack
that's
with your
a-
offhand, it costs a bonus action. Action surge does not give you an additional bonus action. So you'd have your
that's-
2 normal attacks, your action surge grants you 2 attacks, and then you have your bonus action, being that you're a dual wielder, will give you the 5th attack. In total, so far, you have made 4 attacks.
Cool. Laugh out more. It's 17 versus AC.
That is a definite hit.
Yep, and it's 13 damage more.
13? Yeah, you can tell that he's starting to get beat up, but he's still like just going at him.
Seriously, what does it take to get you down, man?
Yeah, you can see the action lines forming around him. But with that, there's still 2 fine heroes that have yet to go.
Okay. Barlow is going to use his cunning action to disengage from the people fighting him. He is going to dart under one of their weapons and begin to dart back towards the wall from the hedge maze, not mage. And he's also going to raise his trusty little golden handle as another dart spins into its top and aim at one of the goblins attacking the priest and fire.
All right. If it's one of the goblins attacking the priest, it would be at disadvantage because they're engaged.
How many of them are there next to us?
Thought I didn't lose. Thought I didn't get disadvantage for being a thief. I get attack. I get a sneak attack when somebody's attacking it when a target's adjacent to my.
You do. It will be a sneak attack, but when you use a ranged weapon in engaged range, or you're firing into a game. Oh no, wait. That's right. My mistake. When you're firing into melee, it's a normal roll. When you're using it in melee, it's a disadvantage. Right? That's correct, right? I'm losing my brain. Go ahead. Just what'd you get?
I'm not sure now.
Did you roll 1 dice or 2? It only sounded like you rolled 1.
I rolled 1 die.
What'd you
What
get?
was on the 1 die?
I was doing the math in my head.
Golly.
That's a 14 to hit.
All
7
right.
and 7.
The one engaged, the guys engaged with Theodrin, right?
Theodric.
Yeah, Theodric.
Theodric, sorry. The ones engaged with Theodric, your arrow flies through the air, and you can see it. It feels like it's dodging and bobbing and weaving. The familiar glare appears at the tip, and it flies right past the goblin,
Well,
just barely missing him.
and that's the end of my turn because I can't use another cunning action to hide.
And Theodric, seeing this magnificent little bolt, this would-be savior, just flying mere inches away from its mark. What does Theodric do?
Okay, so I will cast what's this? Does Shield of Faith increase my AC?
All right.
Does that increase my AC?
Shield of Faith. Where's my book? Oh crap! That was behind me.
I got the book.
Let me see. It
Give me a second.
yeah, it gives me a +2 bonus. So
Okay.
I will take a step back, cast that on myself. And is there like a defensive stance in 5e that you can take?
There is the dodge action, which is like a defensive stance, but it's an action that
Oh,
grants
okay.
disadvantage to attacks. However, casting a spell,
Right.
Shield of Faith, I believe, takes an action.
That's fine. So I will just do that. Put my shield up and look back.
Shield of Faith is a bonus action.
Ooh, so yeah.
Okay, then I will also use the dodge action, and I'll look back at the halfling and say, "Make me proud, please." And I'll try to put my back against the, if it's possible, I'll put my back against the hedge to prevent them flanking me from that angle.
All right. And with that, the large sort of grunting and growling and snarling goblin before are fine. Ace, the Ace who refuses to fall, he refuses to go down, as does this large goblin brute. The brute brings his massive fist to bear back down on Ace. And I believe that's a hit, as that is a 21.
Yeah, it's a hit. A definite hit.
And Ace being, oh god, golly, takes 24 points of damage.
Wow. Just how?
The listed damage is 12 points of damage. I could roll the damage if you want,
Yeah, that's fine, that's fine.
but that's just the average damage for speed purposes.
Welcome to an infinite roleplay game.
Oh, it's fun. It's more heroic. Well, the hero is gonna take the last hit at them.
So he's like, gut punches him again. This time his gut punch still does not drop Ace, but there's still the matter of two more that were there fighting, and the one that dropped you before is actually the one that's beat up to all hell, that you beat up. He disappears. Like, he freezes into a solid mass of ice, like mid-punch, and he stops. And he looks like a solid piece of ice. He's semi-transparent. You could almost see straight through him. But the one that beat you up before is still screaming, "Fight, fight, fight, fight!" And he throws a massive, meaty goblin fist at you as well. Ooh, and I don't think a 10 hits you.
No, it doesn't.
Can it be?
and Ace looks at them with a grin on his face. My turn is coming up next.
Yes, but we still have the matter of, I believe there was two that were going after Barlow, and two that were messing with Theodric. So Theodric, being as defensive as he can, surrounded by magical energy, his little buckler appearing more than twice as big as this massive shield of divine awesome is defending him. The two run up and they're screaming, "Still, fight, fight, fight!" And they attack him, not gaining from their advantage. So that's a 14 and an 18.
No.
Golly. So their fists, their meaty goblin fists, are beating down on this massive magical shield before Theodric, dealing absolutely nothing but letting a few magical sparks and lights fly through the air. Excuse me. Let me just take a drink. And Barlow, our wonderful thief, our sneaky little SOB. The two that you were trying to run away from, They're just fixated on you. And you can just see it in their eyes and hear it in their little goblin voices. Fight! And they're charging at Barlow. The first one swings at Barlow and gets no higher than a 13. The second one swings at Barlow. And his meaty little fist finds purchase.
And I'm going to use Uncanny Dodge.
That halves the damage?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's is Barlow beat up or not?
What's the damage?
It depends if he's beat up. Is he beat up before taking damage?
Oh, no.
Yeah, so it's 10 damage.
He is now.
And he punches you, crack, and then turns to the other one. I got him! And still the three little goblins at the end are tossing snowballs to each other, hitting each other, looking at the fight going on, and just laughing at how badly these would-be heroes are getting beat up.
You didn't kill the enraged brute yet, huh?
The biggest one is still standing. But with that, for our fine, upstanding and not beat up at all heroes, what do you gents do?
Well, back to Ace. This time, he raises his massive sword a bit diagonally to the big goblin and slashes him like a diagonal cut.
All right.
That would be a 14 to hit.
A 14 just barely hits.
Just barely is more than enough. 17 damage.
17. And again, he's grunting and.
As this barely hits, the blade keeps moving on, and with the momentum, Ace uses the momentum to kind of spin around to hit with the other massive sword, kind of like a 180-degree turn and then hit him.
All right.
That would be a 22 to hit.
That is definitely a hit.
11.
Okay. No way. So you can describe how he just manages to take down this big, oversized, overgrown goblin.
Oh, well, so as this first slash comes in diagonally, it kind of scratches the surface of the goblin, and the blade moves a bit, and the blade moves past, giving momentum to Ace. He jumps and spins around and brings the second blade a bit horizontally and cuts him off.
Oh, and he's knocked out. And actually, when the big guy falls and he's knocked down, the three small little goblins that were, ignoring the apparent threat that at least Ace possessed, that were laughing at Ace just mere moments ago, all look wide-eyed and one by one disappear into puffs of fluffy snow as snow begins to fall where they were.
Elsa?
The other goblins that were beating up on Ace, the ones that were going after Theodric, the ones that were looking with horrifying looks of "I'm gonna get you, sucker" at Barlow, all look around and they're saying to each other almost a chant, fight, wait, and they all start to freeze solid into semi-transparent blocks of ice.
Even the one that was not frozen in front of me?
Even the one that previously was not frozen does. The big guy doesn't, however.
But the big guy's down. Doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm. You could just see bubbles of saliva coming out of his mouth. And with that, I think we'll end this first alpha test of Saturday morning D&D, and yeah.
Wait, 1 second. As they start to freeze, Barlow looks around and he takes a dagger from the sheath on his thigh, his tiny little golden rod. He hits a switch and it spins out and turns into a goblet. He takes the ice and kind of uses the dagger as an ice pick and breaks some ice off into his goblet. Takes his wine
Cool, no
skin.
problem, Barlow. When you start breaking off ice, roll me a DC 13 reflex
Oh
save.
fuck!
He's turning to ice too?
I got a 16.
Okay, so you manage to flip out of the way just as you pierce through the ice, it blows up, sending frozen shards flying.
Whoa.
At that
I
point,
was
he kind
gonna
of
try breaking them, but not now.
At that point, he kind of collapses onto his butt, takes his wine skin, fills up the goblet, takes a drink, looks at the others, and says,
I'm so fucking over this.
Well, that's one way to fill your glass.
And the hedge behind you, a hand comes out, forms the little talky face. I can't get on screen like this, and says, "Oh, but what about those kids?" And we fade to black. Next week
Yeah.
on, you know.
We totally forgot about the kids. Well, at least I
Apparently,
did.
Barlow is over it.
You said kegs?
Yeah. So, I just want to ask a few questions of what do you think about the game and the mechanics so far?
I like it. It's definitely a fun little thing to do. It's nice to sometimes play a game that's not supposed to be taken seriously, that is a little chuckle fuck you.
Yeah, so could you help me understand, I guess, the intent behind the way that the mechanics are set up, and that'll help me better answer your question. Is your goal to primarily to create a lighthearted game, or is it primarily made to simplify basically the 5th edition rules into something that can be played more easily or lightheartedly?
It's a little bit of both.
Okay.
The goal that I'm trying to reach is to overall have a lighthearted and fun game at its core, with a few things that can make it a little bit more rewarding to think about, tactics, and working together. There's certain things that I've put into the classes that I've made so far that require teamwork.
Mm-hmm.
Not at this level, not so much at level 6, but at level 8, for instance, the heal monkey gets an attack that he marks a target, and then any ally that hits that target then heals. They get temporary hit points.
Gotcha.
So they get a buffer against damage. At the level in which that you were, there is a channel divinity feature. That within an AOE you can heal a group of your allies. You get a number of points to heal. Those points are double if you yourself are beneath your beat up threshold.
Got it. Yeah,
So
I was gonna use that next round, but we managed to beat them. So yeah, I like it. I think it's got a more kind of I think it sways away a little bit from the attempt at realism and plays more into kind of just like your cartoony kind of video game approach, just particularly to healing. I don't know about the other stuff, but for healing, like the bonus to healing didn't seem overpowered, but considering the fact that the game is meant to be deadly and attacks are supposed to be heavy, playing into the death and non-death mechanics, I think that's fine. Yeah, I don't think that makes it overpowered or bad in any way. So yeah, that was fun. I liked it.
I mean, where else can you have two massive swords swinging at people?
that was horrifying.
Whack-a-mole, like bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, slice and dice that guy. 5 attacks
thoroughly-
at 5th level, at 6th level. Oh my gosh.
Thoroughly horrifying.
Yeah, it's
I
not
was
really
just
hard
hoping
to
that
make these games a little powerful.
What was that?
It's not really hard to make 5th edition a little bit powerful.
Yeah. But what did you feel about the encounter and the creatures that you were fighting?
It definitely fit in with your theme, man. The whole Saturday morning cartoon thing, and I like the fact that you made them a little, that you made them challenging with while still being a little bit campy.
Yeah,
But
they were fun.
I really shouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's you.
yeah, if they were too squishy, then I guess the Ace Blademan wouldn't have that much fun. Like one hit, boom, okay, he died. One hit, boom, oh, he died. Damn it.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm working on a different. I want to get those guys right. You know, I have the bestiary for that selection of enemies. I was working on a new selection today called the Gobbling, not the Goblin, the Gobbling Empire, which I'm hoping is fun. They're entirely different,
Yeah.
but they're based on, like, it's really odd for me. I want to go for the cartoony feel. I want the players to feel as, video gamey or as powerful as possible, while also having the option of making it challenging.
Well, I mean, it's not really hard for you. I mean, you're the guy that got really, really mad when I nerfed his test a little bit in my Dragonlance game.
You asked me for something difficult, and I gave it to you.
Yeah, but you gave me too difficult. I had to nerf it a little bit.
Well, yeah. Anyway, the mechanically, if anybody's watching, they could hear this. If they partake in any of the other alpha tests, hopefully they don't meta it too much. But mechanically, the big guy, he had a couple of abilities that buffed everyone else around him, which is why they were hitting a bit often and a bit hard.
Yeah, I kind of got that.
Yeah, I have a few more that I can throw about.
Really? You? I would,
Yeah.
I would never
I have a
guessed.
few more. I have a couple of more enemies, and I didn't use all the abilities because it was going to be a little bit too mean, I think.
Well, I think from what I'm seeing, I think that a lot of the theme weighs pretty heavily on, is pretty dependent. I mean, on just the bestiary itself, just the creatures, because snowballs that deal damage, that's cartoon. Oversized fists punching them in the gut, like that's cartoon. The funny kind of nature of them, really bringing out that goblin kind of archetype, but to a cartoon level, again, is just part of the creature. So I think that's really important to maintain that feel, is to help game masters understand that, like, that's what they're going to have to do, is play out these different features that are come preloaded in the bestiary and under these creatures. So.
I will put in one warning for anybody watching this or anybody who's in it who has not played in a infinite role play game. If Nelson here says that he thought it would have been too mean, that's talking about playing a video game on insanity mode, but like harder.
Oh man.
I think if he threw something at us that he thought would be too mean, we'd die in one hit.
And not the fact that you die in one hit. It's
The fact that they
thinking
rape your
about
soul
something
after.
complicating, things like the enemies. The way that I run enemies is I try to run them with the kind of intelligence that they have.
Yeah, I know.
The ones that you fought weren't that intelligent.
Well, that's good, because I wasn't playing an intelligent character.
Yeah. If they would have had the intelligent one with them to command them, then you get to think tactically, or at least a little bit more tactically, like, go do this, fine, and grappling and pinning and shoving you into the bushes, and then the smart one yelling at the bushes to do what he tells them, things like that, that weren't necessarily a part of it, because I think with just three, the three of you here, and still the fact that that I've made a few pretty impactful changes to the core of how it works, that it's a little bit to get used to, and whether or not I did a good job at it, I'm trying to find.
I
out.
think you did a good job.
Yeah.
Actually, this was pretty fun, thinking of RPing in a cartoonish world where we can think cartoonishly, actually. It's a bit lighthearted, it's fun. Gives more option to RPing too, actually.
Yeah,
I-
I mean,
I second that. Yeah.
it does. The cartoonish thing really fit. I mean, like the weapon I had that I told you about.
Yeah.
Mechanically, it doesn't really change anything. But I know a lot of DMs that in a regular 5th edition game, they're like, no, you can't do that.
That's a bit, yeah. But then again, I mean, it's cartoony. Mechanically, that weapon didn't change anything, and you actually did give me an idea for developing something more along the lines of an item like that. Because one of the next things I want to do is create gnomes, but go along that trope that gnomes are engineers.
Right.
Tinker gnomes.
Yeah, tinkerer gnomes, golems all over the place. Things of that nature. I want to get into next as far as like a player book.
I think one thing that would be important is making sure that you're identifying to the players, or to primarily actually the DM, how the game is supposed to be played. Just simply because of the fact that and counterbalance is just like everything here. I feel like because, for example, do you want every other fight someone to go down and to be able to use that mechanic, the revive mechanic, down and out mechanic, or do you want that to be a rare thing? Do you want these encounters to be overpowered and extremely difficult? Or do you want that? Do you get what I'm saying? I just think that.
I think I want to leave that up to the DM running it.
Sure.
Like I removed CR primarily just to, if you want to throw something difficult at your players, they can actually survive it because there is that down and out mechanic. They can get back up and get back into the fight and keep going. With the second wind that the warrior gets, the way it works with the warrior is that he can get back up and get back into the fight, but not get the level of exhaustion.
Yeah, but that was actually a really fun part.
Yeah, the half orc, the half orc has its version of that. So if you're a half orc warrior, you can effectively get back in the fight completely free with
You
no
just
penalties.
don't go down.
Yeah, you just don't go down. So with things like that, you can feel free to be a little bit more abusive and reckless as a GM because it's really forgiving,
Right.
on the player side.
True.
But with that, I think I'm gonna go because I have another game at 8 o'clock. That I'm probably like a minute or two late for, but I personally had a blast. I appreciate you guys helping me out and playing with me today.
Good luck.
Hey, man, good game.
All right, thanks a lot. And for anybody viewing, I'm going to be doing another one tomorrow and another one Wednesday. So if you can, hop on, and let's play.